How's it going, guys? This is Jojen Movie So Awesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
We're going to talk about Ozark today. Ozark Season 4 Part 2 is dropping on April 29th. The fucking teaser
Next
just
month.
dropped.
So last week we talked about seasons 1 and 2.
Half of 2.
Yeah, half of 2. And we managed to finish the rest. So, Joe, your impressions?
Yo, damn, yo. First of all, like, this show, I think, it reminds me a lot of Breaking Bad.
Oh, that's right.
Where, because, like, sometimes I felt like the writers were in a corner and there's no way they can wrap this stuff up. But they always put in a surprise that, like, makes sense to me most of the times. Like, especially the second season was, like, when I saw, like, Darlene and Mr. Snell's, like, youth, that made me realize that, okay, there were hints that maybe Darlene is, like, this uber, like, Black Widow. like, super Black Widow, where she just snatches the man, I'm marrying you, bitch. And there's this, like and then the ending of season 2 just proved that, you know? So that was, like, really, that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that flashback. There was something, I don't know, there was something, like, nostalgic about it. You know how there's this symmetry between the intro and the end? I thought that was a really nice touch. And I loved how even when Jacob, he was dying, he was actually laughing about it.
Yeah. Oh, Darlene, you're always ahead of me. Like this, like this bizarre love story.
It's like such an endearing murder.
and you know what I liked about it, and I think this is true for Ozark overall, like season 1 to season 4 part 1, is that they use, like, flashbacks sparingly. And when they do use it, it's really efficient. I mean, like, it reminds me of that scene in Better Call Saul where Charles is, like, next to his dying mother, and then, like, there's a scene, like, the mother says, "Where's Jimmy?" And then you get that Charles face where he's, like, jealous as hell.
Oh,
and
that's right.
That gives a lot of context. Hey, can you, like, move the camera back? Like, the camera.
Oh, my bad.
And that's okay. Thank you. So that scene was really well done. And then, you know what I respect about Darlene? She's like pure. Like, she hasn't changed since she was a young woman.
Right. That's also very interesting because throughout, she seems to be unpredictable and somewhat chaotic. But as we go through seasons 1, 2, and 3, we kind of realize that she runs on a certain code. And she's very consistent about her madness.
No. I don't know if you would call it code. It's just the mentality. You know what I mean? Because it's not like a principle. Because it's actually very impulsive, but there's at least consistency to her impulsive. Like she's like this southern, like, hippie / gangster, because it's pretty hippie what she does, actually. Yo, grow weed, marry a young guy, kill my husband, don't fuck with me. You know, so and I think the actress does a real good job of capturing that. I know. Yeah.
I mean, the actress who plays Darlene, we've seen her in Jessica Jones. Yeah. But in this one, she's, I think, pulling this role so well because she doesn't even have to say anything, just by her presence and that madness in her eyes, that just says it all. She doesn't even have to say anything. It's so convincing that she is she's crazy.
I mean, up to season 3 it was really convincing. Like, she was definitely, and I think jumping ahead to season 3, season 3 felt like a different show for me. Like, season 1 and 2, there was always this, I felt like a thriller element, because the Byrdes are trying to get out from like a really dark force, which is the cartel here.
And also, we get the thrill because we know that Marty bullshitted his way out. Yeah. Because we know that he doesn't have a plan. So we're kind of wondering how far can he go.
But like, even in season 2, like, Helen, she's basically a replacement of
Del.
Yeah. But in season 3, there's this sudden slowdown, and we get all this, like, character building. Character building where it's not just about Marty anymore, but we see the whole chessboard. and then every pawn or board has like a purpose and meaning.
And we don't really see it until the end.
Yeah.
And that is one thing I couldn't get used to when I started watching season 3, because seasons 1 and 2 were both, they had been so fast paced and they were very tense and also intense, and like the whole sequence of an episode was so tight that it really didn't give us much breathing room. We're just like on the edge of our seat, like wondering what the hell's gonna happen. And with that music, you know that ticking music.
Yeah. Yeah, but season 3, like, I totally agree with you. I think season 3 is basically like it's like a show of confidence in from the creators, probably including Jason Bateman, and a bid for the Emmys. Like I definitely felt that because there's something more artistic about it. I mean, it's still a crime drama, very intense, very bloodthirsty, but there definitely was more layers to each characters, especially Wendy. When I mean, I was like Wendy Scarface. That's what's her name should be. Like, what the fuck?
Wendy Scarface.
Yeah, I mean, is this sexist to say? I don't know, but like, I felt bad for Marty for a couple episodes. I was like, as a man, like nothing against like woman empowerment or whatever.
Yeah, but he's like stuck in between with his balls squeezed and
and what I liked about it is like, at heart of Ozark, there's the family dynamic, right? And it's just the extreme version of what teenagers feel about their mother, though. If you think about it, how we start off loving our mother, and then when we're teenage, like I don't know. This can be different for each family, but as a boy, like your feeling towards mother becomes different. It's like she's the target of rebellion.
Yeah, and you no longer want her attention.
Yeah, but except in this case, she can kill you. So it's like it's not a mother that you can say F you to and walk out like, and what I liked about it though, like because in season 1 and 2 we get hints of Wendy like feeling a little resentment that she gave up her dream for Marty, but like she's like taking her power back.
Yeah, and we see that happening from season 2. We can see her kind of like we can see her this sleeping ego waking up, and we've seen this before. We've seen in shows like Breaking Bad when what's his name, Walter White becomes Heisenberg.
Yeah, no, that's such a good comparison because that's why it reminded me of Breaking Bad a little because of not just the writers getting out of the corner and surprising us, but just that Heisenberg moment. And but I liked how season 3 plays with us, where they're asking us, is Marty even needed, this bitch ass? And then later we know that he's like invaluable, like because he's the only one who can like launder money properly, and so
he's the only person with the expertise.
Yeah.
Everything's okay when they believe everything's going smooth, but like as soon as there's trouble, there's no one else who can handle it.
No, this reminds me of like Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak situation, where Wendy is Steve Jobs, bitch, make that shit. And then Wozniak, the genius, is like, oh shit, at heart I'm a good guy. And then because season 3, every character like hates Wendy.
That is true.
It's so interesting to me how like Ruth, like even though like Marty and her like. She tried to kill Marty, and then Marty tried to betray her maybe a little, but like there's this like
there's still that fondness between the two.
Yeah, that was like beautiful. That was a lot like Heisenberg and Jesse Pinkman.
That's true.
Except Heisenberg is basically Jekyll and Hyde, where Wendy and Marty is one person, but here it's split, where Wendy is like the ego boss, like threatening people, like now threatening senators so easily. That stuff was cold. And then Marty here is like the engineer genius. So that was really interesting. And I love the small characters too. Do you know who my like favorite was? Like Frank Jr.?
Oh, okay. I also kind of liked him.
Yeah.
And I got to like him even more in season 4.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was dead, but like, I guess Darlene is a really good shooter. Exactly the tip.
She shot his dick off with a shotgun.
Yeah, no, but that scene was like beautiful in a way. Because like because there's a battle of principles, right? Wendy, the completely no principle, maybe even you could argue, but you brought up you said Darlene had principle,
that's
right?
such a code.
In that sense, she has a gangster code basically. Like the gangsters get it, but the Wendy, the corporate / corporate gangster doesn't get it. So that was really good. That was a
I like, and the only reason why she did it was because she likes Ruth.
Yeah,
like I brought you in because I like you, and for that she's thinking that Ruth has been wronged, and to correct that she had to shoot his dick off.
Yeah, but Ruth has definitely been wrong though. I really felt that. Like she's such a great actress, by the way. Like. You know.
Although I believe in certain cases Ruth was pushing it a little too hard.
You think so?
Like when she first threw Frank Jr. off the boat. I mean, she was. It didn't have to escalate that far. That's what I believe.
No, but like Marty saved Ruth for that by giving the mafia
extra 10% or something. Yeah.
But what Frank Jr. did was completely wrong, though. You don't beat up a woman, first of all, and then do it in that fashion.
Yeah, in such a ruthless way.
Yeah, because
it was so brutal. I think he beat her up because he thinks that she had his men killed, his boys.
Yeah. No, but that's suspicion, though. You need proof for that, like following the mafia code or whatever. But anyway, no, but You bring up season 4 really well because I love the fact that they made up. Like on the car race, they're like these two. I was just like these two poor things.
Yeah, and they find similarities in each other.
Yeah, and then
we both lost our fathers.
Frank Jr. is a big man. Until he seemed petty, right? But if someone is responsible for cutting off my pecker, I mean, thank God it grows back now. But that was beautiful. They have this innocence that the higher ups don't have.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, because Ruth, even though she's really efficient, she's not as calculating as let's say Wendy is, though. Because Wendy is the way she threatens Jacob and family first. That's mafia speak right there. But Ruth is Wyatt, I'm sorry. She has this tender side.
And I think it's because she's still very young. She's had a lot of her youth taken away by her family circumstances, but I think there's still some left in her. She's still going through her youth. She's still a girl.
Almost every Langmore is dead, except
3.
Yeah. That's shocking to me. Their uncles are dead. Their dad are dead. Her cousin is dead. And then the funny thing is, none of Marty's family is dead. The center of the scheme person, even Omar. So the cartel boss, which is a good character, by the way. His family is fine. So there's, I think, a sort of theme of either you get used or you are the user.
So in the beginning of the season, I was feeling sorry for the Byrde family, but as I approached the end of season 1, I was beginning to see that the biggest evil in this entire show was going to be the Byrde family, especially Wendy. I was thinking, oh my God, these people are like the devil, especially when what's his name, what was his name, Jason, the minister, the preacher, when he got killed, I was like, oh my God, and they just somehow free themselves of that guilt, and they just carry on. I was like, oh my God, these guys, just like he said, the preacher said, they are the devil. That's what I was thinking.
And there is an element of escalation, though, because this promise that Marty made just keeps getting him. It's just like Breaking Bad, where every decision Heisenberg makes just keeps making the situation worse and worse. Where he has to climb the ladder to survive, so to speak. Because Helen is here now in season 3, which I really like, and you can tell from the beginning that's not going to be a happy thing. It's a rival thing going on, and I love Helen's character. She is basically a proto Wendy, a more experienced Wendy, but you can tell Omar, being the boss that he is, he's like the one where like he tells Wendy, "Oh, it's good, you're my girl," and then he calls Helen, and "Oh yes, you are my girl." So it's for him. He's like getting his best option, getting the two horses to race and see who wins, and Wendy wins, and then Marty wins too, thanks to the drone image, right?
Yeah, and that's all thanks to Ben. If Ben hadn't been there, first of all, Ruth wouldn't have survived. Second, they wouldn't have that footage. They would all be dead.
Yeah, Ben, poor Ben.
And Wendy had Ben killed, which is very ironic.
No. She okayed it.
Yeah, well, then they had no idea where he was, but who gave up his location? Wendy.
Yeah,
she okayed it. Not only just okay, but she just gave him away.
No, but what was really good about that episode, I think that's the 9th episode on season 3, is that, so like, what was going to happen if she didn't give up Ben then? They're all going to die. Like, the Byrde family is going to die. Like, everyone associated with them will die. So there is, I mean, I'm not defending her, but there is a choice of, like, the lesser evil for her. Like, whether it's, so, like, she gives Ben up. But what's good about that was like that scene in the car. That was beautiful. Like where she breaks down, and then when it comes to season 4, you can tell she's doing that Heisenberg thing where that fly is bothering me, but it's not really about the fly. And my brother was a drug addict. She's compulsively lying. There's a psychological wound there that hasn't been addressed yet.
That entire lie that Wendy's telling people, that reminded me of Shutter Island. Remember when DiCaprio, he had done something so evil and so cruel and so unforgivable, he creates this alternative reality inside his head. I was kind of thinking that maybe that's what's going through Wendy.
Or the start of it, right?
She can't bear the truth. The fact that she had her own brother killed, she just can't live with it. So she decides to just lie to herself and believe what's more convenient.
Yeah, she even goes to like check on like this missing person to confirm the dead body, right?
And I love Marty's reaction to this. He's just very carefully, like he seems concerned. But I love how he doesn't like try to stop her. He's just like, okay.
Yo, Marty is like the husband of the year for me on season 4. Like, so understanding, so patient. I mean, yeah, he caused this mess, but like, it's kind of, the situation has changed. But season 4 though, like, what do you think about like Omar's like nephew storyline?
I think it could have been better, because one thing I don't like about Javi is he kind of destroys the mystique that surrounds the boss. Because remember, Omar, he rarely met with other people, and we rarely saw Omar. He was always behind the curtain.
Yeah.
And even when he was on the screen, he had like 30 seconds of screen time, and he didn't even say anything. He's like, and that's all he did. He just talks with his eyes. He just sits there and listens. But with Javi, I'm wondering, number one, why is he handling things on his own? I mean, isn't he like at least, even if he's not the boss, like isn't he like a capo or
captain?
He's like a captain. He's got doesn't he have his own Nelson to take care of things? Even Helen had Nelson take care of things. Why would the nephew of a cartel murder people on American soil? That's one thing I was not really convinced about.
Yeah. Like, I agree with that. I think partly it's because like the limitation of it has to be a drama, and we need a villain.
And what was even more unconvincing was when he was delivering those packages of heroin, when he was driving that van. I'm like, why is this guy driving the van?
Yeah, stay away, man. Have your minions
Aren't you the nephew of the cartel boss? And I thought you went to business school in Chicago. Why are you driving that van? I thought you were so proud of that.
That's true.
You didn't go to business school to drive a van full of heroin.
Yeah, he should watch The Wire. See how Avon handles it, right? Away from the product.
That's right.
No guns, right? Yeah. No, but like, I think it's partly because I think after season 3 that became a problem because we got to see so much of these villains now, like Helen included.
Yeah.
Because I like Helen in season 2 better than season 3, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she was a more like rounded character, but like we didn't get deep enough of her like Wendy did or whatever because
and
there's
her relationship with her daughter.
Yeah. But in season 3, I loved Omar's scene with Marty though, because
when he was torturing him.
Yeah, and then I love like his intuition, and then he frees him, right? You're just like me. You need to win, and that was a really good. Like,
but he doesn't say that to his face. He just says that to Wendy.
Yeah.
And I think he let him go after Marty tells him to go fuck himself.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I think partly it's because of the problem solving.
Oh, that's true.
Because you have to remember, like, Marty, you know, because most people in that situation, they would beg for them lives or negotiate, right? But Marty, like, he needs confirmation that he was right. That's more important than anything. So, you know, that's another Heisenberg aspect. You know, because, like, in Breaking Bad, like, what's his name again? Because Gustav and the other guys, it's just business for them, in a way. But, like, for Heisenberg, like, the winning is the prize. You know, it's not just the money-making thing. And...
Gustavo Fring. Fring.
Yeah. So efficient. So, but because Marty, I think he likes to think of himself as efficient, but four seasons of his behavior indicates that he's not.
Yeah, and remember we were wondering about Marty's own background? We get to see a little glimpse of his flashback.
That was really good. I
remember when he was in the hospital with his father sick, and he was playing that video game. I think that video game was a very subtle way of showing what Marty was obsessed about.
No, and I think it also shows like he's emotionally shut too, because it's a coping thing. He can't deal with this now, so he has to do what he's good at. And if you look at the whole show, like he never really fully expresses like his feelings, even to Ruth.
Yeah,
it's like our father's generations kind of thing going on here, where hey son, yeah son,
and he just keeps all that frustration and anger just within himself, and we can kind of see that happening with Marty as well, because remember in season 3 when Ben gets out and Marty goes to Ruth and he's asking her why she and Darlene let him out of the hospital. I would be furious. I would be like strangling her practically, and especially after hearing Ben telling them that he told Helen's daughter what a horrible monster her mother was. Marty just has this look of disapproval to Ruth, and he just immediately tells her you have to find a place to hide him.
He's very efficient, and I think we're gonna get to see like some emotional parts with him in part 2, because I think it's building up. Because I mean, we see Wendy's crack, but we haven't seen like Marty's crack yet. But that would be really good, because that was the beauty of Breaking Bad's like last season, right? The part 2 where we see Heisenberg with the hair back again. He's almost turning back to Walter White again in a sense. But he looks at the TV. He's like, "Fuck that shit." He becomes Heisenberg. So here, I think we're about to see a fall, a big fall, because so far the Byrde family has been surviving and even thriving sometimes. But I think they have reached like a boiling point here. With Omar in jail, we don't know if he's gonna get freed or not, and his basically like crazy nephew.
They have all these untangled strings thrown out everywhere. They need to deal with this at some point.
Yeah,
and I'm also quite concerned about their dissension within the family, especially Jonah, because after finding out that, Helen told him, after finding out that his own mother okayed Ben's murder, I think he's kind of he's kind of damaged in a way that cannot be repaired. Because remember when his sister Charlotte wanted emancipation from the family, but she eventually came back? I don't think Jonah's going to be coming back, because that every time Wendy tries to bring him back to the family, it just backfires every single attempt.
Yes and no, though. I'm not really sure whether he would do something drastic, though, because the reason why I like Charlotte's storyline is she's basically becoming Wendy Jr. In a sense. But my favorite scene in like season 4, part 1 is where Marty comes to the rescue. Son, that's not how you launder money. And then they bond over that stuff. Oh, I was just like, oh shit, that's so beautiful.
That's like father-son moment.
Exactly. I mean, there's something criminal going on. And I love how, because Marty is, I think Wendy's more delusional than Marty. Because you remember that fight scene in Casino where Wendy is like trying to tell him that we gotta discipline Jonah, we gotta, and then Marty just straight up saying, I'm gonna go do more criminal activity now, because that's what we're doing, criminal activity. Like, and then he walks out, because Marty knows exactly what's going on. There's, I mean, Wendy's trying to bring out this front of like a legitimate business, whatever. But I think Marty is more like grounded here. Yeah.
Oh, and I also love the moment when Jonah gets himself like a new system, and he like mentions what he's been doing, and Marty's somehow quite proud about it. He's like smiling. He's like laundering at 14, and you can see like a smile on his face.
Yeah, no, that was beautiful. I mean, we shouldn't cast our judgment on them. I mean,
he's like, yo, that's my son.
Yeah. I mean, and then I think Jonah has a brighter future if he finds the right footing, because remember that Miller agent wanted to recruit Marty.
That's right. So I think he has a very, very promising future as a federal agent.
Yeah,
going after this like financial fraud.
Yeah, he can be one of those like hacker guys that like get caught and then has to do time with the FBI, like catching other hackers. Like, I think so. And I think Jonah is still innocent though, like, in a sense.
Yeah,
because Charlotte, you know, in season 4, she threatens like
Aaron. That's right. That was a quite dark moment. You know, when she, like, at the end, kind of tells her that even after going through all this, and even if it weren't true, I mean, even if that were true, we're still willing to do anything to keep this under control. And she just subtly threatens that anything can be done to her. Yeah, and there's no distance that they will not go.
Yeah, that's the Wendy moment. Because like basically saying, well, if it's you or me, then yeah, you're going down. Like that was that's why I don't know, but I think there are a lot of like possibilities, because remember, Ruth is like shit mad right now. She's like killer mode. She just saw like Wyatt's head blown off, and then
I love the way that scene was composed. You know, we don't actually they don't show us Ruth walking in that house and seeing Wyatt's body. They just show her getting in the car, and we have that change of music,
and then she's holding the gift inside, and then she drives the car, and we know exactly where she's going.
So I was thinking, oh my god, is she gonna kill Frank Jr.? But then, you know, fortunately, she has that phone call. Yeah. And Frank Jr., I love how he answers the phone with a joke. Yeah. It's like, are you still not serious about, like, going away together, blah, 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 blah?
Yeah. And I like that scene because, like, there's a trust, like, between her and Frank Jr. That perhaps she doesn't have with Marty, despite the bond. Because she doesn't believe Marty. Like, because Marty and Wendy, like, as a couple, lied so many times.
And you can see in that scene where Ruth visits their house, and she's asking for the name of that dude who she had seen before. You can see that they're lying in front of their face. I mean, in front of her face. And they all know it's a lie.
And Jacob knows it too. So I think,
I mean, not Jacob, Jonah.
Jonah, I'm sorry. So I think Ruth revenge is gonna like happen with the help of Jonah and Frank Jr. too. Because I would love to see like because the Kansas Mafia thing didn't make sense to me, because your boss is dead and there's no revenge or no investigation. At least you have to, don't you have to like at least send like three like made men and see what's going on? Why did our boss last time visited this Ozark and never came back.
And remember the show set up what they're capable of and how brutal they can be? Remember shooting that truck driver's hand off?
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are they do some ugly shit.
Yeah.
So
I hope there's a shootout, like, and then with the cartel and the mob and possibly the FBI, because that felt like it wasn't concluded.
You know, before Darnell eventually got killed, I was kind of hoping for like a comeback of the Snells and the Langmores.
Yeah,
like, they retake Missouri, like the Ozarks.
Yeah, no, but I think they had to like move the pace along because I think the Darlene dying scene was a surprise because we talked about it, right? Like she's basically like so unpredictable and perhaps even unkillable, we think. But suddenly, like, Javi just walks in and point blank shoots her.
And I love the fact that she got killed by Javi because we also know that Javi is a very unpredictable person. Like, the moment he shoots the sheriff, we clearly know that this guy is just as crazy as
and he's
Darnell.
Smiling at the missing poster, right? Yeah.
And he's... So I can somehow... in my opinion, say that Darnell maybe has finally met her match. Yeah,
I like the actor.
You're unpredictable. Guess what? I'm even more unpredictable.
Yeah, because he's a complete d-bag in front of like the pharmaceutical CEO too, right? Like completely unprofessional. Like because you can't imagine like Omar doing that, like his uncle, because his uncle is threatening, but
he's very subtle about it.
Yeah, and he's also a very practical person. Like even in front of FBI, you know. You can tell he's a negotiator first, shoot later kind of person. You know what I mean? Okay, if all option is dead, start shooting.
Yeah, in the worst case scenario, he's gonna like hurt himself.
Yeah,
bashing glass, but out of FBI's eyes.
Or cut your rival's horse's balls out, like Godfather style. Make your minions do it so that you make sure they're loyal to you. You know, not directly threaten them. So there's a subtlety to his like ruling tactic. But
I love the CEO's reaction. I don't want to deal with him. He's disgusting.
Yeah. I was like, we feel you, woman. We do. No, but like, I think they had to make up a character like Javi though to like make it more interesting.
You know who else also was quite intriguing to me?
Who?
You know those security guys for the Shaw Medical?
Yeah.
Those like special forces guys.
Yo, I loved every like agent in here. I love Nelson, like the Mexican.
You remember when he had therapy with that lady?
Yeah. Yo,
he was talking about that dog running away.
Yo, that therapist was also my like the best like side character ever.
Which one?
The therapist.
Oh, the therapist.
Like the car she brings.
Yeah.
Oh, Marty. I don't know. Maybe
shitloads of money.
Yes, maybe shitloads of money, and I don't know. Maybe I need to get paid more. And I love that this is a dark show because Nelson kills her, and then we see her in a plastic bag. And then I love Nelson because like I'm pretty sure Nelson's gonna come back because in season 4, like he toasts to the Byrdes. Like, yo, these guys are
they just like an hour, like not even an hour, 20 minutes ago, he just blew Helen's brains out.
Yeah, they're like, fuck yeah, you're part of the cartel. Oh, mi hombre. You got it del Navarro. Because you can just imagine Nelson telling his boys, like, yo, these are the ones who brought the U.S. military on the lacunas.
Like the celebrities.
Yeah, no. Oh, since you bring, like, Helen, like...
getting popped?
Yeah, that was funny because remember that scene where Wendy told, like, Omar that I killed my brother for you. And then Omar's like, what the fuck you want? You want me to hug you?
That is required.
Oh, you want me to tell you how I care about you? And then he's like, oh, beautiful. My beautiful birds. Yeah, fuck that bitch.
La familia.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, so lovingly. Oh, my favorite couple. Yeah, get rid of that body. And then just dumps the other one. That stuff was funny because that's called, like, that's good writing. That's good writing. Yeah, that was funny.
And the shock. We can see Helen's brains like getting splattered all over the Byrdes.
Yeah, I think that was like a thematic thing, though. I don't think that would have really happened. Like, why would you need to do that? No, I guess it makes sense because you're hugging them and telling them, "I love you, but don't betray me." That's how you end up. Yeah. No, but like one little flaw I had with season 3 though, this is gonna sound weird, but I wouldn't have minded another episode because I felt like the last two kind of went so fast. Like Helen suddenly,
like, when she was making those moves against the Byrdes, that was a little abrupt.
Yeah, because I actually love the part where like she and Wendy are kind of friend enemies.
Yeah,
where they
hanging.
They kind of respect each other, but they're also like doing chess moves against each other.
Especially when they're buying that other casino.
Yeah.
They're working as a team.
Yeah, and that senator. Like that Chris guy with the lawyer named Jim, like he was like sidelined so fast. I was surprised because I liked him as a character too.
Yeah, he quickly became a bitch in season 4.
Yeah, too fast. Like
because it kind of felt like he was somewhat impenetrable, and there was this certain halo of being untouchable.
And Wendy's like rise, you could argue that it was too fast. Like I mean, the show does a good job of making it convincing.
Yeah.
But if you stop and think about it,
so really? we brought up the similarity between this show and Breaking Bad, but this is I think where they're different because Breaking Bad they took a lot more time, showing Walter White becoming becoming Heisenberg and his rise and his the challenges that he needs to go through.
Yeah.
But this one, it kind of went quick compared to Breaking Bad.
So, like, looking forward to season 4, part 2. Like, I just hope it's like a magnificent send-off because, like, part 1 was good. But there are so many things that I think part 2 has to do well. Like the Omar situation, the Ruth situation.
The Javi situation.
Yeah.
The FBI.
Exactly. Because so far... They managed to do it well, but it wasn't as like convincing as like Breaking Bad was. But either way, I know that it's gonna be good TV though, quality wise.
And I love how season 3 and season 4 they both hint us at what is gonna be the variable of the show. Remember how when we talked about season 1 and 2 that these the Byrdes, they always try to control something that is uncontrollable. And we can clearly see that from season 3, that it's Ben. Ben, when they first introduced Ben to us, his episode at school, it shows us what to expect from Ben, that he is very compulsive and he's bipolar. And once he loses his reasoning, he will just... I think he punched the gardening guy or something.
He's basically like the opposite of the cartel boss. Except cartel boss is unpredictable in a way that is totally unempathetic towards human beings. But here Ben is like, I love the world, I love you.
And I love how every time Marty and Wendy have a disagreement and they refuse to cooperate, something horrible happens. Because I remember from season 3, as soon as Ben he causes a scene in the casino. Marty, I think it's Marty who suggests Wendy to send him off to a private facility to commit him in a private facility for his own good. But Wendy, she refuses to take Marty's help or his suggestion, and she leaves the room saying that, well, congratulations, it's not your fucking problem, and she just leaves, and she's thinking everything's under her control.
No, but like in Wendy's defense though, like there was a part where they try to make Ben like take the medication, right? And then it's not like from the start where Wendy and Marty decided to try to control Ben. What they're essentially doing is not trying to in their minds trying to do what's best for Ben, but it's always backfiring because that's not what Ben wants. But Ben refuses the medication, and then he should have gone to jail. But Darlene frees him. So there are these events where,
well, remember before he was sent off to state hospital, they still had the chance to send him off to a facility that was more favorable.
And you could argue that it is like Wendy and Marty's fault because these are the enemies they made, and that's they're doing this to Ben to fuck with them. So yeah, definitely. No, but Ben was, I don't know. His character was interesting. I mean, like, like, I also felt sorry for Wendy though, because we're getting more of that in season 4 thanks to the father appearing now. But like, you can tell Wendy's childhood was not a happy one. Like, because there are hints where Ben tells us that Wendy was the strong, like headstrong. What's her last name? She's not Wendy Byrde.
Davis.
Yeah, she's Wendy Davis. But we also get to see Wendy's side where she tells like Ruth, I've been dealing with Ben like for
my entire life.
Yeah,
I've been trying to protect him my entire life.
Yeah, so like, I'm not defending what Wendy did, but you also kind of understand where she's coming from. She has this love and hate, in a way, hate towards Ben.
And I don't know. I also got myself reminded of like this quote from season 1. It feels like you don't have a choice, but you actually do.
Oh, right.
Yeah, remember?
That's what she says to Marty, right?
Yeah, I think that's what she said to Marty.
Yeah, because Marty is the one who's like basically saying, we can't help ourselves. We gotta do this to get out of the situation.
But Wendy, she eventually got to face the same situation. It looks like she doesn't have a choice, but
she does.
I mean, we talked about this, but maybe she did. Maybe she did have a different choice. I think it's the moment when Ben buys that burner phone from the convenience store, when she realizes that he's never gonna be under control, and I think that's when she kind of realizes that he needs to go.
No, she never uses this word, but basically her mind is, he's gonna snitch. It's like a mafia mind. He's about to tell somebody, and it's not gonna be a friendly, because. And then him calling Helen, so the situation. I love the fact that Ben called Helen, and then thought everything will be okay. No, because it kind of shows like despite his bipolarism, he's actually essentially a very empathetic person. Like, he's sorry for his actions, and he's in a way very like lovingly naive.
Yeah, and it was kind of heartbreaking when he was in that state hospital talking to Ruth, and he's asking her, "It's like, what did I do wrong?"
Yeah.
And when you think about it, it's not like he committed a crime. He just said stuff that, I mean, he didn't even lie. It was just the truth. No, but he just said it to the wrong people.
No, I just want to tell Ruth, break up with him. Yeah, because like in a way they're couple. The fact that they're attracted to each other makes sense. You know why? Because Ruth is a grown woman in a child's body, and here's a child in a grown man's body, so it balances it out. Like, Ruth is like way ahead of her age, like wisdom wise. I almost wanted her to say, "Oh, poor child, you sweet summer thing," But yeah. No.
Anyways, I was very surprised with the guy who played Ben. I forgot his name.
You praised his acting, right?
Yeah, he was very good with it, because I remember seeing him in the Iron Fist, Marvel's Iron Fist. He was Danny Rand's like a stepbrother figure kind of thing. And in that show, I never knew that he had such a range of acting. In this one, his bipolar, his unstable state of mind, and him.
You mentioned the cab scene, right, where he's talking to himself.
Yeah, when he's talking to himself, and when he kind of starts to cry, like every time something. When he says something that is painful to him.
Well, I don't know though. Like, to be honest, like, I mean, his acting was great, but like the actress that played Wendy killed this thing for me. Because like,
that's true.
Because like, I think playing subtle is harder. Like, than like, like dramatic scenes. Because I'm pretty sure all of them can like cry on cue if they wanted to.
And like now after season 3. Every time Wendy gives a smile, it kind of creeps me out.
Oh yeah,
it's
me
so
too. Like,
scary.
I totally get it. Like, the actress kills it. Like, it's like you can't tell if it's a fuck you or do you want to die, or it's a real smile. Like, because
it kind of reminds me of that CEO for what's that company's name?
Elizabeth Holmes.
Yeah, Elizabeth Holmes. Those crazy eyes.
Hey man, whoa. Let's not mention real life thing. Okay. Yeah, allegedly. Yeah. Hey, let's make some predictions. What's gonna happen in part 2, season 4?
I believe that Javi is gonna die.
Yeah, me too.
He's gonna die for sure, but I'm thinking that maybe he's gonna have like a very surprising death. We assume that Ruth is gonna kill him, but I have this feeling something else is gonna happen.
I have one big question though. is Ruth gonna live or die? I feel like the show is gonna like kill Ruth to make it really sad. Because in my heart, I actually don't care if the Byrdes live, especially the parents. But like, I think they're gonna kill Ruth. They're gonna kill her in such a sad way, where like the only Langmore left is 3. Because I think they're setting.
I think that is a possibility, because
I think it's a strong possibility.
There has been this pattern. You know, there are times when Marty gives advice to people. Remember when he told Ben to leave town? He didn't. He died. And when Ruth decided to work for Mrs. Snell, Darlene, he warns her that she's out of her depth and she's gonna get herself killed. I think that's like a foreshadow.
I think so.
Yeah,
maybe because because Marty's problem with Ruth is that, in a way, he's not taking full responsibility for his surrogate daughter. Because that's what Ruth is. Like, to be honest, like, she's more of a daughter to Marty than even, like, Charlotte. Because Charlotte is, like, your blood daughter. But here is basically, like, a mini version of you. You know? So, but, like, Marty's fault with her, in a way, and I think that's why Ruth has such a resentment, is, like, he never really, like, fully takes responsibility for her and shows her that he loves her.
Yeah.
Because Darlene does it. Darlene compliments her immediately. Yeah. I knew I chose you right, girl. You're a partner.
And that was convincing.
Yeah. But Marty, like, so stingy with the compliments. All you need to say is, you're the shit. I love you, Ruth. You might next me. And Ruth will be like, oh, fuck yeah, daddy. And it'll be all done with.
Because we know that she clearly has daddy issues.
Yeah. I mean,
she's very hungry for that.
She needs that approval, and Marty just won't give it. So I have this bad feeling that Ruth is going to die in front of Marty or in front of Marty's arm. And, like, I hope to God this happens. I really want Marty to go batshit crazy.
Or, even worse, Javi's going to make Marty kill Ruth.
Oh, that could happen. No, but I think, like, the thing about Javi is, like, I think he's like Omar said, like his uncle said, my nephew is
impatient,
stupid and dangerous. So that's like a good combination of like a fuckery. So, like, I don't know.
One thing I'm also curious about is what role will the private investigator play in part 2? Because I kind of like that guy.
I like that guy, but I wish they would like give us a hint of what's going on. Like they're teasing that, right, for part 2?
Because he keeps saying that all he needs is a signature, but I think he's now way more involved in that.
No, but the thing about him is, like, we're not sure if he's telling the truth. Like, why is he doing this? Like, I think we haven't got a clear, like, hint of what the real purpose is. I think there's a real purpose, not from, like, the divorce thing or whatever. Maybe, you know, there's a different agenda going on for him too. And even if he finds out, unless there's a big surprise behind it, like, what was the point? You're a PI that got into other people's business, and are you going to get Aaron killed or whatever? Because honest to God, it would be really sad, but I really don't mind if Helen's family gets killed. Like, no offense to them, but they're not really, I'm not like dramatically invested in them or something. So they don't really matter to me. You know, but who matters is like Frank Jr. Because a fellow man without like a dick, that's like, for me, I'm worried about him. Like, if he appears,
like, the moment he got his dick shot off, I'm pretty sure he paid for all his sins in his life. He's absolved of all sins the moment he had that dick shot off.
Or I don't know. Do you think the Byrde family survives though? Like, that's an important question.
I think they will.
All of them?
Not sure, but I'm pretty sure Wendy will.
You think so?
Yeah. I think Wendy will survive until the very end. I think she herself is gonna be like the cartel.
No way, man.
That's what I'm thinking.
No, I don't.
Because I think her ambition is so large that she's gonna fuck Navarro.
No, man. Come on, man. You think so? Oh yeah, I think Omar is gonna die really quickly. Like, because I think either his nephew's gonna kill him, or I think he might die in prison, and we might get a surprise of like Javi being like this crazy villain or whatever. But Wendy taking over, like, do you think the Mexican cartel will be willing to follow the leadership of a white lady?
I have no idea. But I have this feeling that Wendy is going to grow into like this massive kingpin.
I'm calling whether like either one or two family member dies, or they all go to witness protection program.
And I believe she's gonna be like untouchable. She's just gonna have all that political.
Yo, you watch too many gangster movies,
she's gonna get all that political influence. She's gonna pull all these strings. She's got feds in her pocket.
No, I feel like the series is more.
And to get that, she's gonna sacrifice everything. Like, I mean, everything.
Yo,
she's gonna let her own.
Be honest. No, come on, man. Like, even in Scarface, he dies at the end. This isn't. I don't get this feeling that this is a happy ending.
Her son's gonna get her killed.
Oh, you think
Jonah's gonna get her killed?
Oh, that's actually more plausible. Like their rift actually causes a miscommunication.
And the reason why Jonah makes that decision is
don't smile like you're about to say something stupid.
Because Wendy's gonna get Marty killed.
Really? Okay.
Wendy's gonna get Marty killed, intentionally or not. And that's going to push Jonah over the edge, and Jonah's going to let her die.
Dude, that's some dark shit. I don't think so, man. I'm sorry. Really?
I mean, if I'm the writer, that's what I would do.
What about Charlotte?
Well, she's going to go mad. And
well, the show doesn't give a fuck about her, so we don't give a fuck about her anyway, right? Like, she's probably the most underwritten Byrde family, by the way. True. Member, by the way. Nah, man, I don't think so. I think it's an interesting theory. Fuck you.
I mean, but this cannot happen in like the second part of season 4.
No, I feel like the family.
We're gonna need like an extra season. No,
I feel like the family is either gonna all go down together, because you have to remember, like, despite their fights, when they're pushed to a corner, they unite as a family too.
That's true.
Like, I mean, the conflict between them has escalated over the seasons up to season 4, especially now that the kids are like growing up. But consistently, I think, every time there's a extremely dangerous situation, they kind of pull together. So that's why. And then we have to address that car scene in the first episode of season 4, right? Because they're going to meet the FBI and the car flips.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's like an intentional thing. Because one of my theories is that they've actually agreed to do that with the FBI, so that the cartel doesn't know that like they're betraying them. And then I think it could be like a ploy for them to go into witness protection, so that the FBI can protect them. So that like, the cartel thinks they're dead. I think there's a possibility that's the case.
Okay, that could also work.
Yeah,
that's plausible.
Yeah, because I don't think they're gonna die. So I think that could be like intentional accident.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And one small detail I also liked about was Sam. You know, when he was forced to lose money in the casino, he kind of gets himself addicted to gambling.
Yeah, no, like
that was a funny detail.
No, that's basically like the mini version of Wendy's bad influence you were talking about. Like, in a way, she's corrupting everything she's around her. So it's funny, but that's like a gentle corruption. You know what I mean? Because your children is laundering money, your daughter's threatening people, and the consistent and I think Ruth says it or something. Everybody around them dies. Like everybody who associates with them dies. So you know there's a point, like there is an argument to make that. I think you said it. Like they're the actual like evil Midas hand. Everything they touch turns into shit.
So if you had to pick out a favorite scene from each season, what would it be? Mine in season 3 is the moment when Ben tells the truth to Aaron. And we clearly know how terrifying that is, because we had seen Helen warn Charlotte about what's going to happen if something like that is done. And so that was like a moment of pure terror, because I clearly knew that Ben just wrote his own death warrant.
Yeah.
And in season 4, the favorite scene was when Frank Sr. kind of like bursts in to Darlene's own home,
Yeah.
and he insults her in every way possible. I was like, oh my god, this is not gonna go well. And
I didn't like
that was not even surprising.
No, the season 3 like Ben shouting match to Helen I liked, but the Frank Senior one I didn't like.
Really?
Because it felt like they're trying to kill him. You know, out of the sudden, like, and then like the thing I didn't like about that is where are like Snell's men? Like, aren't you like
that's also what I was wondering.
Yeah,
because that's a big land.
Yeah, and like so it didn't make sense to me. Like I could just tell that they were using poor Frank Senior as like a story device. Because I liked them when Buddy was around. And then I loved their interaction talking about Detroit. And then suddenly the show goes, well, what can we do? Yeah, let's just get rid of Frank Senior, have him like get popped by Darlene. So like basically the show got rid of Darlene and the Snell family and the Kansas Mafia. Like boom, whatever. Well, I want to move on.
I like that scene because it kind of reminded me how badass she was.
No, but we've seen her do that a lot. So like. I think they did that to make a surprise about like Javi shooting her, like basically. So like no, but I felt like Frank Senior was a waste because I really liked this character because you know he's always because I expected there to be more trouble once like Marty told him that we're done after they beat up Ruth.
Oh, that's right.
So I was kind of waiting for like season 4 to be about. Like
the Kansas City mob.
Yeah, they coming in and planting bombs just to fuck with them even more. Because remember, that was like the last scene, right? But suddenly they're not a threat. So that was actually like a little bit disappointing for me. But my favorite scene is like Nelson like doing therapy. That's it. That was a really smart scene. And I also loved Marty teaching his son like that hacking.
Oh, thing. The money laundering.
Yeah. For me, the small moments are what makes the show. Because remember, like the boom and the bang in the show, it's not some like top notch stuff. Like it's not something you haven't seen before. But it's mostly the story and the writing that drives it. And Wendy crying, like Wendy.
Oh,
and then Marty over the phone saying, we love you, baby. Come back home. Your children loves you. You're a good mother. And there's this like, you know, it's a scene where like so little of what happened is actually said because none of them says Ben is dead. I killed Ben. No, Wendy's just like, I fucked up, and then there's this whole emotional breakdown.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, and then Marty keeps saying, I love you, honey. Come back home, baby. Your children loves you. So that scene was very, very powerful. I think that was a masterclass of acting from the actress who was like, that was really good. Yeah, but my favorite scene is like season 1, where Dell gets shot in the head, and Snell goes, "Oh, Darlene, now he didn't say it, but he just pulled out, like, now I gotta kill this bodyguard." I love that scene the most because there was just so much surprise there. See, that's why Frank Senior getting shot didn't surprise me because we already seen Darlene kill a lot of people.
Because the moment he was insulting her in her house, in her own home, I was expecting that to happen.
Yeah, so it's not a surprise. That's why I have a problem with it because you have very two.
So I was thinking to myself, oh my god, just like when Ben was yelling that stuff to Helen's daughter, I was thinking, oh my god, he's gonna die.
Yeah, because that one was powerful because that scene was set up better because we know Ben got out of the hospital, right? We don't know where he's going.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't know he was gonna visit Helen.
And then suddenly we cut to a scene where we see Helen finally having a good time with her daughter. And then one man just drops straight and and then we kind of see Helen, the tough lawyer woman, like her exterior breaking because this dark secret is being revealed to her daughter. So that was like it was set up so well. That's part of the terror of the scene.
And when he's with Ruth, and Ruth is defending Ben, and suddenly Ben says that I had to tell that bitch lawyer of yours and blah 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 blah. And you remember Ruth like instantly saying like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
And she brings out a shotgun. It's like, "Get the fuck in the car now!"
Yeah, that was really well done. Like that whole, and then that episode was and I think it's hard to compare that episode with other episodes because that was basically like a payoff episode. Like because when first Ben came here, I was just so annoyed. Like, what the fuck are he doing here?
Yeah.
Like, what does he have to do with anything? Until we see him like not eat his meds, and he suddenly breaks down. So that was the payoff episode, and I think episode 10 also did a great payoff, like with the Helen head blown. But yeah, that's. I think witness protection. I think there's gonna be like a Goodfellas kind of ending. Right? Where there's going to be some betrayals, there's going to be some death, but the family will be okay. And they're like, oh, shit, now I got to live like shitty.
Henry Hill moment.
Yeah, Wendy's maybe dead with Marty working for the FBI, you know, in his like little...
In his little cubicle.
Yeah, like the Shield Vic.
Yeah, Vic Mackey style.
Yeah, the hell version there. Who knows? But I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and we're lucky that we don't have to wait that long.
Yeah, April 29th. We're definitely going to review this. So before we wrap up, let's also give season 3 and 4 a grade here.
Season 3, I would give a pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome.
Me too. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. It was like, is this pure garbage? And I was like, pretty awesome. That's how I felt. I was like watching episode 1, 3, 4, 5. I was like, garbage. I'm getting close to garbage. Oh,
but in the so that's what that was for.
Awesome. And the season 4 part 1 was like, I have to wait for part 2. So it's almost awesome.
Yeah. I agree. Almost awesome. Almost awesome. Not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. There we go.
Almost awesome.
Yeah, never thought it was garbage, but it wasn't like.
Because I mean, if I just add one thing, the reason why season 4 only gets not so bad and almost awesome is because the way season 3 ended.
Right.
And season 4 had a lot to deliver.
Hey, this is an ending like I would want though. Like where Ruth has a tattoo that says Langmores never die, and then there's a huge pickup truck. And she gets like a machine gun, like, and then starts killing every cartel member. Yeah, yo! Fuck you, Marty! Fuck you! Fuck this casino! And then like she runs the Midwestern mob. That would be like the actual ending I would want to watch.
And you thought my Wendy scenario was stupid, huh?
Feel the wrath of the curse of Langmore. For all the Langmore's death. You know, that would be the ending I want.
You know, and that is why Breaking Bad was such a masterpiece. The way it ended, you know, how he killed those white supremacist Nazis with that machine gun in his trunk.
There's like a great Greek tragedy thing going on there too. And I hope this, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a tragedy. I'm just not sure what kind of tragedy it's going to be.
What I want to see is Marty finally losing his shit.
Yeah.
I want to see him get intensely emotional. That's what I hope to see from part 2.
Yeah, because I said Ruth, like Langmore's never die tattoo and all that, but that's not going to happen. I think Ruth's going to die. I think the whole setup is Ruth's just going to die because she's the one like pushed to a corner. Like her lover is dead. My pseudo father figure doesn't give a fuck about me. My cousin has his head blown. My sweet cousin, who is the least criminal of the Langmores,
the smartest.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah! I'm gonna get some shit done. And then it's not gonna end well for This show has shown that people who live this life, that's not how it ends. So that's gonna be the tragedy, I think. And I wish Wendy would get hers too. Like she's like, I mean, you could argue that she has even more blood on her hands than Marty. Because I mean, Marty, like, he is responsible, but you never see Marty actually like, do it. You know what I mean? Like in a sense.
And remember when he killed that preacher?
Yeah,
the preacher killed. He was in shock.
Yeah. I mean, and then. Oh, preacher. Okay, now that you bring that up, like, okay, I don't know. Now that you bring the preacher up, maybe Marty might die too. Like, yeah, I mean, Oh, and the what Darlene to the wife too, right? And Zeke, right? Oh shit! I don't know anymore. Won-Jin, like anything could happen.
Yeah,
there's a lot of sins here. Jesus, I wish. That's why I wish Snell was still alive, telling Marty to his face, "Oh, Lord is coming, baby. Lord is coming down on you, Marty. Oh yeah." And then like that'd be beautiful. But anyway,
we shall see.
Yeah, guys, if you like Ozark, why did you like it? Please leave a comment. When Ozark Season 4 Part 2 drops, we'll be talking about it right away. Because it's Netflix and we get all 7 episodes, right?
Yeah.
If you have a movie or a drama for us
to review
that you would like to review,
yeah, let us know in the comments.
Press the like. This was Joe.
This was Won-Jin.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.